And a happy hump day to everybody. It is Wednesday, November 12th. Welcome to Fantasy Football Today, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. We are looking for league winners. Any schedules that could help us out? Players with great schedules or players with terrible schedules that you might want to get off your roster. We will do, of course, some buy low and sell high. Also, some fill in the blank. You know, we needed something to wash that taste out of our mouths from the horrible Monday night game. So we're looking forward to previewing Jets-Patriots, our Thursday night game this week. What's up, everyone? Dave, thank you for laughing at my silly joke.
It's going to be an ugly game, I think, and potentially low scoring, which isn't going to be any fun. People are going to complain about that. No one appreciates the fine art of defense anymore when it comes to watching football. It's kind of sad.
See, I did appreciate the defense on Monday night. I thought it was just really good football. That's not what I'm expecting on Thursday.
Not from one of the teams.
Yeah.
There's your Thursday night preview.
No.
All right, we're going to start with some fill in the blank, and we'll do buy lows and sell highs. So let's get to it here. Fill in the blank from Drew Belzer. Oh, also, a quick little preview is we'll talk about RJ Harvey. We'll do it very soon, actually. It's in the fill in the blank. But RJ Harvey, because J.K. Dobbins might end up on IR. And I have cracked the Jameson Williams code. I am so excited. Definitively, I can tell you everything you need to know about Jameson Williams. I've figured it out. Enigma, mystery solved. Okay, here we go. Fill in the blank from Drew. The running back, wide receiver, and tight end, one of each, that will win you your league are blank.
Jonathan Taylor, Jamar Chase. Let me try to think about this a little bit more.
I mean, how obvious does he want us to be?
Not that obvious. I think if you wanted to say, maybe if you felt Bucky Irving was going to be that guy, I think I'd accept that.
Okay.
Amari and Hampton might. I don't know.
Let's go Trevion Henderson.
No way. You really think so?
Yeah. Why not?
Well, Ramondre might play as soon as this week. So do you think Henderson has league-winning potential?
Ramondre's not playing this week. Yes, I do.
Oh, he's not playing this week? He probably not, but he's been listed as limited 2 days in a row. But all right. Any other running backs that come to mind?
That are not obvious? Jaylen Warren. I don't know if that's obvious.
That's definitely not obvious. Jaylen
like
Warren.
Aaron Rodgers post-game said they didn't give him enough touches. I think that's going to be something that changes moving forward as they try to lean on the run game a little bit more. Whether that is a huge benefit to him or not, but just getting him the ball. Certainly this week he's going to be great.
He has great matchups. He has Cincinnati at Chicago. I don't know if that's a great matchup. That's maybe TJ Edwards dependent. Buffalo at Baltimore, Miami coming up. Does finish with at Detroit and at Cleveland. But Jaylen Warren, I like that call. Any other? Dave, you had Saquon Barkley listed as a buy low.
But that's obvious. Everybody's starting Saquon. It's good as a buy low, but yeah, I think he can be better than he's been, and the schedule is going to be really good.
I think that's a perfectly good answer. I think the only ones I wouldn't say are guys like, Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, the studs. People are frustrated with Saquon Barkley. He hasn't been anything close to a league winner. You think
if you think that's a good answer, then that's a good answer. But I didn't think that was the type of answer that Drew was looking for here. So I didn't say it.
Absolutely.
Let me give you one that I think could be. I'll give you two. Chris Olave and Juwan Johnson. New Orleans has made the correct move going to Tyler Shuck. He's played pretty well in his last couple of games, more so last week against Carolina. I think they're going to be throwing a lot no matter what the game script is. And I think Olave is going to continue to get a lot of targets. I think Juwan Johnson is going to be not necessarily a target hog, but we know that he's going to get some good looks. He had a good game last week. The schedule is great for both of them rest of season. Not that really matters because of the game script thing, but I think these guys can be useful starters. So everybody's holding on to Chris Olave anyway, but do the same with Juwan Johnson through his bye week.
Okay. If there are any other names that come to mind, speak now. Forever hold your peace. Let's see. So one of the things I did.
All the Giants with Jameis Winston.
Yeah, this week, Jameis is going to likely be the starter.
I can tell you who's going to win you week 18.
18.
Or 17.
Oh, who?
The Cowboys, Commanders, Cardinals, and Raiders.
Those are matchups.
The Raiders play the Giants, so Ashton Genty's going to, if he can get you to week 18, he's going to win you week 18. Cowboys and Commanders play each other.
17.
I'm just going to say whatever I want, Dave.
Oh, mislabel the leaks as you wish, sir.
It might be Marvin Harrison.
Genty is a guy. So I looked at matchups. I looked at teams that have 3 or more matchups against the Jets, Cowboys, Commanders, Bengals, Bears, Titans, and Giants, plus maybe a few others. And I looked at teams that had 3 or more matchups against Houston, Denver, the Rams, the Chiefs, Seahawks, Eagles. And Genty showed up in the bad category. So he gets Dallas this week. Then look at this stretch for Genty. Cleveland, Chargers. Not sure that's so tough. Denver, Philadelphia, Houston. So you said if he gets you to week 17, it could be tough sledding for Ashton Genty to get you to week 17 with that.
Love the increased target volume the last couple of weeks. Hopefully in those games where they can't run, he still catches 4 or 5 passes. But back to Marvin Harrison, because I think that's a legitimate one. And probably somebody like you can just transition right into the buy lows. 2.5 yards deeper intended air yards for Jacoby Brissett than for Kyler Murray. Basically a 30% target share in the healthy games with Harrison with Jacoby Brissett. Coming off of a game where he just had a comically bad efficient, very low catch rate. I don't think we're going to see that the rest of the year. I wouldn't be that surprised if Marvin Harrison Jr. is a top 12 wide receiver rest of the season.
All right. I like it. So let's go on to our next question then. This may be more of a sleeper from Randy Mall. Blank will be the league winner down the stretch that emerges out of nowhere.
Oh, it's definitely my other buy low.
Oh.
Luther Burden.
Darius Slayton.
Ricky Pearsall.
Luther Burden, Darius Slayton, Ricky Pearsall. Heath, expand.
By far their most efficient wide receiver, 2.22 yards per route run. He's averaging over 12 yards per target. And guess what? The smartest football coach in the world knows it. He actually said this week he's making a very good, strong case. Or he said he's been very good when we get him the ball. And he's making a very strong case that we should do that more often.
Okay. Luther
That's
Burden.
a paraphrase, not a direct quote.
Jamie, Darius Slayton.
I mean, the schedule is very favorable for the Giants down the stretch from a passing perspective. We don't know if maybe Jameis could be the starter the rest of the way, but obviously Jackson Dart has just as much potential to get Darius Slayton involved as we've seen with the 2 should have been touchdowns, and coming off a solid game where he left the week 10 game against Chicago, still had 4 catches for 89 yards. I just think based on what he's shown us over the last couple of seasons, whenever there's been a key member of the passing game missing, he stepped up and played well. So I like the upside for Darius Slayton very much.
And Dave, Ricky Pearsall.
Don't forget about Ricky. Could be the number 1 wide receiver, should be the number 1 wide receiver when he does come back for the 49ers. They're taking it a little slow with him, but he's been practicing. Brock Purdy will be back. Those 2 had a nice connection earlier on this year. The schedule isn't that bad. They've got a great projected schedule ranking rest of the way. And he could end up being someone that you're probably using at this point as a wide receiver 3. And I bet he has a couple of wide receiver 1 weeks left in him.
All right, I'm going to
We could also, like, I know it's not as fun and everybody prefers the young guy, but you could make basically the same argument for Jawan Jennings, who maybe has already started to break out.
I'll make one more. Oh,
no, go ahead.
No, just one more player I wanted to mention is Jordan Addison, obviously, or Justin Jefferson, right? He fits in the Barkley category. He's been a bust. It's not the best schedule. They get the Bears this week. They're 28th against wide receivers. At Green Bay, at Seattle could be tough. Weeks 14, 15, 16, Washington, at Dallas, at the Giants. I mean, if the Giants are healthy, that may not be an easy game, and it could be bad weather. But you get a Washington, Dallas, Giants trio there for the Vikings passing game. That's pretty fun. And then Detroit at home in week 17.
I would just worry that against the Giants, they're going to throw 21 passes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just want to bring up one thing about the Bears, because Dave, you had Romo Dunze as a sell high. They could have a very cold finish to the season. They're at Minnesota, then Pittsburgh at home, then at Philadelphia, at Tampa Bay, Cleveland at home, Green Bay at home.
It's Green Bay, not Tampa Bay. They played Green Bay twice in 3 weeks.
That's even worse. At Green Bay. Yeah. Okay. I knew it was worse than the.
Yeah. Going to Tampa in December usually isn't like that bad.
Well, even if it was Tampa, but a stretch of Pittsburgh at Philadelphia, at Green Bay, Cleveland, Green Bay for Chicago. That's a potentially got some bad weather there. Obviously, I can't predict that, but it's going to be cold. That I can predict.
And then the crazy thing about Odunze is he had a great game last week, beat up on a banged up Giants defense. They were missing a couple starters. They've been missing a couple starters. The week before, he has the matchup that everyone dreams of, and he had a donut.
Yeah.
And I do see the Bears, and this lends itself to cold weather, becoming a little bit more run focused, especially in games that they have a lead in. They can run the ball. They've got two guys who are very capable of down to down having a good success rate and keeping the chains moving. Caleb Williams is improving as a thrower. It's great to see, but it's not like he's a guaranteed, accurate downfield legend at this point. And I'm exaggerating here, but you get the point. I'm a little worried about Odunze, and the only reason why I would say sell high is if you can get top 12 value. I think he's a number 2 receiver for fantasy purposes. But if someone is buying in after another big game, the week after he completely torched us in the best matchup he could have had when his team scored 47 points, I don't mind if you can get top 12 value for Odunze doing so.
It's really amazing that he scores 5 points against the Saints, 5 points against the Commanders, 18 against the Ravens, 0 against the Bengals, and then 20 against the Giants.
So if you look at the Bengals, I think they're about 15th or 16th against wide receivers. I'm not saying by any means that they are a good pass defense, but I've talked about this a few times. They keep everything in front of them. They see an extremely low ADOT, one of the lower ADOTs from wide receivers. They're more vulnerable to like the short area guys. They give up a lot of yak. A guy like Rome Odunze, for whatever reason, I mean, they did double him a decent amount. They keep everything in front of them. That's just Odunze he shouldn't have had 0 catches. He did drop a touchdown in that game, but I guess maybe it wasn't as quite as good of a matchup as we thought. There's a question on the screen here from Dylan. Would you trade Rome Odunze for A.J. Brown and Jake Ferguson?
Yeah, I think that's enough for Odunze, especially if you want some stability at tight end.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's fire through the rest of these fill in the blanks here. I wanted to get to those league winners. Now let's do the rest. Tez Johnson is a wide receiver blank rest of season.
3.
2, 3.
3 in the range of 3. Hopefully he stays permanently a 3.
2 for this week.
Yeah.
This week he is at Buffalo. Josh says RJ Harvey is a blank while Dobbins is out.
High end flex.
I'll go a little bit higher. I'll be in between you guys, like a low end RB2, like RB 20 through 24.
Are we sure he's going to get all the work?
No.
I don't think
I'm very sure he's not going to get all the work.
Is he going to get the majority of the work?
I am.
Get any of the work?
I think he'll get a slim majority.
What if they had 3 running back carries this year that were not him?
Or Dobbins, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still going to use another guy.
Here comes Sean Payton.
Right.
So they've been it's been 2 games in a row where J.K. Dobbins has run 4 routes on first and second down. So they've been using Harvey more in that regard on first and second down to begin with. He has 4.3 yards per carry is fine. His advanced metrics are awful. Some of the worst in the NFL. Or explosive run, avoid rate, percentage of carries for 0 or negative yards, 5 or more yards is horrible. But he hasn't had that many carries, especially in any single game. So hopefully, I'm a little. That was an interesting response. I thought it'd be a little bit higher than that. I thought it'd be more like a top 18 guy. So you guys are saying, top 20 to 30.
I'm in the top. I'll go top 18.
Okay.
But
this week's not going to be easy, obviously. And when we get everybody back from bye weeks, it's tough to say that he's going to be that good if in fact Dobbins is out.
I think if they give him 15 touches, it might be like Travion Henderson, where 12 of them are not that fun.
Yes.
But 2 of them are pretty awesome.
I do like a bunch of his games after the bye week. He's got the Commanders and the Raiders after the bye. That's pretty good. And then fantasy playoffs, it's Green Bay, Jacksonville, Kansas City. How many of those games is Dobbins going to be up for? That it does I think maybe like short term, maybe we're selling him a little bit short, Jamie, that after the bye week, he could have a couple of nice games if Dobbins is still out.
I mean, there's certainly the potential for that. I mean, I was as high on him as anybody coming into the season, so I'm hopeful for that. But it's still a situation where clearly they have not trusted him to get any more work, whether that's because Dobbins was doing everything they wanted to, or they're just weren't ready to give it to him yet. I'm just hopeful that it's going to be him taking the majority, getting the majority of the touches, as opposed to we're still seeing more of a split because he wants to see what Tyler Bidet could do or Jaleel McLaughlin gets back in the mix.
Mm-hmm. It could be three running. Hold on. It could be three running backs. We're talking about a guy who's missing in Dobbins, who's getting around 15 carries per game. I would imagine that a lot of that falls into Harvey's lap. It's just how efficient can he be? Adam, you talked about how he hasn't been that. I think we're starting him. I think we're starting him as an RB2. There aren't 24 running backs that have better outlooks than RJ Harvey at this point.
Okay. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we got a few more fill in the blanks. We got some buy lows and sell highs. We got your news and notes for you, and we'll, of course, preview Thursday night. We'll be right back.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. When you need your sports in a snap, find it on CBS Sports HQ, streaming free anywhere you are.
Fill in the blank from AK. Brock Purdy is QB blank rest of season.
14.
I'll say 12 from the time he starts.
Okay. Yeah, pretty good schedule for him. But there is a bye still left for Purdy, a late bye. From Wizzy, Woody Marks will finish as a top blank running back rest of season.
25.
Yeah, kind of in that same range as Harvey, although I don't think he's got quite as many roadblocks as Harvey has.
22.
Okay. And Mark's next two matchups are against Tennessee. They're 28th against running backs, and Buffalo, they're 26th against running backs. Let's hope Woody Marks can continue having that big role. From Daryl Davies.
This is a telling week for him just because his best games have come when they've been trailing.
Yeah. And they're at Tennessee. Well, look, if he's really the main guy like he was last week, then this could be a good week.
Right. Shouldn't matter.
All right, from Daryl Davies. Thomas will call for timeout blank times during today's stream.
0.
How many times will he randomly have a beanie on?
Did he have a beanie on yesterday?
You're going to have to go back and look.
Not during the timeout.
All right, this is from The Burner. Strawberry ice cream is a top blank flavor of ice cream.
10.
30.
No, it's like top 10. But it depends. Like basic strawberry ice cream is no bueno. You've got to get like the authentic strawberries in the strawberry ice cream.
Yeah, I want some strawberries in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Fresh made.
I feel like it's one of those ice creams that 3 or 4 bites, you're enjoying it. And then you're like, oh, this is just too much. Too strawberry.
What's better is vanilla ice cream with sliced strawberries on it.
Yeah, 100%. Would you throw like strawberry sauce on top of that? Or
no, I'd put chocolate sauce on it.
Yeah, that probably makes more sense.
Vanilla ice cream, strawberry slices, chocolate sauce.
Whipped cream.
Just keep going. Whipped cream.
Yeah, we don't need any whipped cream.
Yeah.
What?
We're not.
Total
this
waste.
is the guy who said I made the announcement like 2 years ago that he had outgrown bacon. But he'd like a little whipped cream on his ice cream.
Throw me in front of a bus if I ever say that.
All right, listen, it's time for football at BetMGM. Register with BetMGM to get instant access to the best variety of parlay selection features, no sweat and boost tokens, live betting options, and much more. New players can receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets with the bonus code FANTASY. It's a great offer, $1,500 back, up to $1,500 back with the bonus code FANTASY. If they don't win their first bet, you don't want to miss out on any of the hard-hitting action at BetMGM, so place your money line, parlay bets, and more today. BetMGM, make it legendary. Just in case I confused you, sorry. The offer is you can get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets with bonus code FANTASY if you don't win your first bet. All right, news and notes. Jameis Winston expected to start for the Giants.
Let's go.
So that's obviously if Dart doesn't clear the concussion protocol, which is not expected.
Let him sit. Let's have fun 1 week.
I was just thinking, though, has he is this the least amount of talent that you think Jameis Winston has had?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
In a while, anyway.
I mean, were the Browns
he was throwing in Cleveland, right?
Well, I mean, I think Judy is. They had Judy,
Tillman,
Njoku.
all the same.
What is that?
Judy, Slayton, Judy. It's all the same.
How many drops has Slayton had?
How many drops? I don't know. Not as many as.
Yeah.
All right. Jameis, where's he going to be in your rankings?
To 2?
Yeah, but probably
I put him
not.
at 16.
That's the range.
Not in the top 12.
Yeah.
There's too many good quarterbacks this week. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Tua, Mariota, Jameis.
That's the order.
Oh.
I will probably Mariota.
The Packers. I mean, it's a very good defense he's playing.
Right. That's part of the problem.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's kind of irresponsible to put Jameis higher. It's too irresponsible to put him above the Mariota line.
Basically, every New England player was limited. Well, actually, Travion was upgraded to full, but Ramondre Stevenson was limited. Terrell Jennings was limited, and Kayshon Boutte was limited. Austin Hooper.
They added a running back from their practice squad.
They did add a running back, but I think that could have been a Terrell Jennings thing.
100%. Yep.
Yeah. Jamie already mentioned that Jaylen Warren could get more touches on third down. Against the Bengals this week, he was the start of the week. Can you double dip on start of the week?
I'm not going to, but he started in 90% of leagues already. It's too much.
Travis Hunter is out for the season. Good news is it's an LCL injury, no other damage, apparently. So apparently should be a pretty smooth recovery. I don't know that this is one where we have to be concerned about coming back. I think this was the Rashee Rice injury, but Rashee Rice also had something like a hamstring or something in there. So that's good for Hunter. Oh, here we go. I've cracked the Jameson Williams code. So,
I want to hear this. Go ahead.
Looking at what did they do differently? You might have heard that under Dan Campbell, the Lions used a lot more motion. And it's sort of true. According to True Media, it was a lot more than what they used last week, or I guess week 9. It wasn't a lot more than what they've used in previous weeks this year. But the main thing that I saw, just based on the numbers, was they were under center a lot more. And then I said, does that matter? Well, Jameson Williams, yards per route run out of the shotgun last 3 seasons, including this one, anywhere from 1.36 to 1.57 yards per route run in shotgun. Under center, 1.21 3 years ago, or 2023. 3.36 last year, 2.51 this year. I mean, he is worlds better. It could just be small sample. It could just be whatever, a fluke. But it's play action. He's better off play action, and he's better under center. And the Commanders, by the way, they allow the most receiving yards per game on play action. So it was a good matchup for Jameson. But the Eagles allow the third most. And that's who he plays this week. So obviously joking about cracking the code. But if you're looking for one number, one split, one metric for Jameson Williams, it might be that. It might be that he's just better when they're under center, when they're going play action, and he's benefiting from it. That's what they did a lot of last week. Raiders guard Jackson Powers-Johnson is on IR, and Packers center Elton Jenkins is on IR, and it looks like he's going to be out for the season with a broken leg. An IDP name that I wanted to mention, you have to keep an eye on the injury report for Seattle. Is Ernest Jones going to play? If Ernest Jones is not playing, pick up Tyrese Knight. He was good filling in for Jones 2 weeks ago when Jones left with an injury, and he had a great game last week. And he's facing the Rams, who will probably run a lot of plays and run the ball a lot. Dallas linebacker DeMarvion Overshown could be back this week. Could play this week. Eligible to play this week, Monday at the Raiders. Terrific player before a devastating injury a couple years ago. And Philadelphia cornerback Jair Alexander is stepping away from football so he can get healthy. All right. They just traded for him, so he won't be a part of the picture, it seems. Maybe not for a little while. Okay, we'll just pick up the scraps here real quick, guys. I know we spent a while on this segment, but today we did the fill in the blank. So just the quick buy lows. Jave, you talked about Pearsall and Barkley. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Nope.
All right. So Heath, you talked about Burden. Was there anything you wanted to add in the buy low department?
He's free. He's 21% rostered. Just take a chance. This is the type of guy you want to have on your bench, because I do believe if they would just play him 70% of the snaps, he would be a must-start wide receiver.
Do you think, would you rather have Burden or Darius Slayton?
entirely dependent on your roster. If I need somebody to start right now, it's got to be Slayton.
Slayton's still only 44% rostered. Is there any other buy lows you wanted to get to, or just that?
I thought I gave one more, but I can't remember what I said now.
Oh, I don't remember seeing anything.
I didn't send it. I said it on the show.
Oh, yeah.
You weren't listening.
No, you did say someone, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right, who in the chat was listening?
I don't remember.
Because Adam wasn't.
Time out.
Yeah. Jamie, any players you want to buy low on?
No, you said you didn't want to spend too much time on the segment, so I didn't want to give you any.
All right. I'll just run through. Tell me if any of this resonates with you. Teams that play the Jets, Cowboys, Bengals, Commanders, Bears, Titans, or Giants 3 or more times. Washington, Baltimore, especially Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews has the Bengals twice. The Steelers are horrible against tight ends. The Patriots aren't that good against tight ends, but Andrews has only one game with more than 34 yards.
And do we care that Isaiah Likely had more targets last week?
I wonder how much of that tied into Bateman's ankle injury too.
Green Bay has the Giants, the Bears twice, actually. They don't have that easy of a schedule, though. Jalen Waddle, I mean, he's not buy low, but he could finish strong. Washington, then a bye. Saints, Jets without Sauce, Steelers, Bengals, Bucks, Patriots.
Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, Ben.
Oh, Marvin Harrison. Nice. That was your buy low, right? Minnesota, I mentioned they have that stretch of Washington, Dallas, the Giants. They also have Green Bay and Seattle and Detroit on there. So Minnesota's got kind of up and down schedule. New England, Jets, Bengals, Giants, bye week, Buffalo, at Baltimore, at the Jets. It's really good, especially for the running backs. My goodness. Maybe Jamie, he will be that league winner, Travion Henderson.
That's up to Mike Vrabel, man.
Yeah.
If Mike Vrabel has seen enough and he's decided that Henderson needs to be on the field and they need that speed on the field, then it's a wrap for Ramondre, it's a wrap for Terrell Jennings, and we're talking about like mega must start for Travion rest of season.
Here's an interesting one. How about Garrett Wilson? So he's out 3 to 4 weeks. If he comes back for the fantasy championship,
You're reaching.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
it's probably, but it's Jacksonville, at New Orleans, New England. I don't know if New England's going to be tough. It's going to be easy. Probably not. If he comes back in 3 weeks, it's Miami, at Jacksonville, at New Orleans. So no, not interested.
Just ask Rich Cimini. He probably knows.
Well, someone dropped him in one of my leagues. So
well, if you can pick him up for free, of course.
Right. But I don't know that I'd want to drop. I think I would drop like Tajay Spears for him, I guess. But
there's a team in a league that I'm in that's desperate for starters. They've got Garrett Wilson. They're trying to make a playoff push. My team's in first place. Thank you very much. And so I offered DK Metcalf and Jared Goff for Garrett Wilson and Daniel Jones. I think that was the trade.
What was it?
And I got turned down.
Oh, I would have taken that deal.
What was it?
Quick.
It was, what's that?
Say it again.
DK Metcalf and Jared Goff for Garrett Wilson and Daniel Jones. And Goff is my backup quarterback. And I had just acquired DK Metcalf earlier in the day.
Okay. How about AJ Brown? So he's got Detroit, at Dallas, Chicago, at the Chargers, Las Vegas, and at Washington, and then at Buffalo in week 17. But that's another team that's got Dallas, Chicago, Washington, and the Raiders in there. And then Pittsburgh has good and bad. They get Cincinnati, Chicago, Buffalo, Baltimore, Miami, Detroit, Cleveland.
Yeah. Not a bad schedule for the run game. Jalen Warren isn't a bad call.
All right. Sell high. Dave, what did you say? You said Romo Dunze, and you also said Kimani Vidal. And let me ask you, what do you think the chances are that the Chargers backfield, when Hampton's back, is the next Bears back, next split back?
The next annoying split that's going to drive fantasy managers crazy? 100%. Because they're not going to want to put it all on Hampton's plate right away. They didn't want to do that before the season started. Remember, they had Najee Harris there, and they were using both of those guys. And Vidal has earned a role. And so it's not going to be 80% Hampton, 20% Vidal when Hampton comes back. It's probably going to be close to 50-50 at first. And then hopefully, for those of us that have been holding on to Omari and Hampton, he does emerge as like a 60-40, 65-35, that type of deal. But there's definitely going to be some presence of Vidal there, but the fact that both of them are going to work is going to water down their upside quite a bit.
Okay.
Schedule's not so great either.
I mean, we've been saying this since before the schedule got good, but DeAndre Swift just faced the Commanders, Saints, Ravens, Bengals, Giants, missed one of those games, missed the Bengals. And now he's going to face the Vikings, Steelers, Eagles, Packers, Browns, Packers. And there's a split backfield. I would still be selling DeAndre Swift.
Especially since you can get quite a bit for him.
High.
Sure. Yeah. You can't. It's the whole point of sell high. You can't look at just one word. It's both words. You've got to try and upgrade, right? Isn't that the whole point? You're going to take Swift and another player off of your team and go get one of the top running backs in fantasy.
Swift or Barkley rest of season?
Barkley.
I'll take Barkley.
Barkley, what's close?
Swift. Okay. I give you Swift. You give me RJ Harvey and what else? Get that
a lot.
Yeah. Oh. Is Mr. Sun coming out, Dave? Yes.
You can already tell.
I can see it's getting a little foggy over there.
Oh yeah.
You know, I don't know if you guys want to have this conversation, but I was
it's happening. Here it comes. I told you.
I'm beyond the box score about maybe selling Jackson Smith-Njigba. Because I just feel like, he's having one of the most statistically improbable seasons. Well over 4.5 yards per route run. Here it comes.
Oh yeah.
Here comes the sun.
Oh, this is great. And I didn't know what you thought about that. Like I was just looking at a team in my league in which I have Jackson Smith-Njigba, and I was saying, maybe I'll offer JSN for Barkley and Jefferson. Would you do something like that? Would you even entertain it or just keep JSN? But my point would be they threw 12 times last week and he still had a great game. I compared it to Aaron Judge hitting 400 for about a month and a half or something. He's the best player, but he can't be this good. So I don't know. Your thoughts on that?
Clearly if you could turn him into two studs, again, I know it didn't work out the way you were hoping for, but your Christian McCaffrey trade, right? That's the type of move you have to make. You got to get
Yeah.
You got to get two top 10 caliber players.
Listen, his value has steamed up so much because of what he's done. One of the absolute hottest prospects in the National Football League. So you don't want to get burned by giving away JSN and not getting enough back for him. But he carries a lot of heat. He's a league winner.
It's so good. Okay. You think you're more likely to look for trade offers or just ride it out with JSN?
Write it out.
Of course you're writing it out.
Well,
do I write it out with the best receiver in fantasy football? Yeah. It's kind of the whole point of why we're playing.
Okay. Can I just tell you that last year there was a wide receiver who averaged 18.7 PPR fantasy points in his first 9 games. And then 29.2 fantasy points in his last 8 games.
Is that Jamar Chase?
No, it was Jamar Chase. My point.
Do it again.
What's that?
You might do it again.
Might do it again. Yeah. I don't know. My point is, these things happen. Guys obviously JSN is gonna finish maybe as wide receiver 1, but he might have a worse second half than first half. There's just not that many passes.
Well,
whatever.
Last 5 games, JSN's averaging 25.2. PPR fantasy points per game, and he's not been as good as Jamar Chase.
Oh, I wasn't even trying to compare the two, but that's very interesting. Any other sell highs, or we good there?
I've got to buy low.
Oh,
I'd like to buy low on some drapes for my house. Any drape salespeople in the chat today? Blinds even?
Let me throw out a team that has a terrible schedule, I think, and you let me know. It's got some terribleness in the schedule.
I'll tell you where they rank in the fantasy.
Talk about Patrick Mahomes. He has 4 matchups against teams that are currently top 3 against quarterbacks. Denver this week, Houston week 14, Chargers week 15, Denver week 17. Anyone care?
No one's going to sit him for it. He's got a bottom 5 projected schedule rest of season. So does Josh Allen, Jared Goff, Caleb Williams, and Geno Smith. We can make the case for Geno. No one's starting Geno. Who cares about Geno? And Caleb, yeah, it's going to get a little tougher. He's got those matches against Green Bay. But everybody else who's like a stud, they're studs. You're going to start them. If you want to try and sell high on them, what's the plan then? The plan is to go to the team that's streaming quarterback or, lost Jaden Daniels, something like that. And you're going to offer them Mahomes for a non-quarterback and then stream quarterbacks. Depends on the player you get from Mahomes, but sure.
I mean, you look at the last 2 games for Drake May. I think we all know, we love Drake May, right? But he scored 20.4 and 22.1 fantasy points in his last 2 games. You say, I've got Mahomes. He's facing Denver twice, Houston, and the Chargers. Drake May has a pretty damn easy schedule going forward, I think, anyway.
It's true.
I'm not saying 1 for 1, but do you think you can get May and, RJ Harvey for Mahomes? Would you even do that?
I would do that.
The May manager is moving him.
Not the savvy May manager, but there are plenty of fantasy managers that say, "Oh, Patrick Mahomes, Drake May hasn't been as good the last couple of weeks." I think it's doable.
You could try it, but Jamie's right. Most people that have Drake May, they're thrilled to have gotten him because it's such a great draft value. They're not going to want to let him go. They would let him go if it's to get Lamar or Josh Allen, but that's probably about it.
I
guess
think. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the one scenario is, May's bye week is still out there. So
Yeah, that's another thing, right?
I think the guy you may be able to do that with is Jalen Hurts.
There you go.
He's coming off of a bad game. He's always doubted.
Yep.
And he has the Raiders, Commanders, and Bills in the fantasy playoffs.
Oh, yeah. That's a great idea. Right. You got to get something with it. But are you I'll just finish with this. We'll take a break and do Thursday Night Football. But are you worried about Mahomes? Are you worried about, no one's going to, Rashee Rice will be unaffected most likely, but you worried about Mahomes down the stretch?
No.
I mean, if your expectation was what we saw from Mahomes in that stretch where it looked like he was vintage Mahomes, and you're thinking, okay, I have that again. And then he has the stinker against Buffalo, and now you're looking at the schedule and like, could this be another, just mediocre stretch of games for him? Then you should be concerned. But if you're looking at it and say, okay, Rice, Worthy, suspect run game, maybe some shootouts there, then you should be fine. I mean, look, I think Dave Heat said it. Like, you're not benching him unless you've picked up someone along the way that you just feel has huge, immense upside, and you can't afford to bench that guy. And I don't know if there's been a quarterback that's recently come off waivers that's like that.
Recently, the closest guy would be Jacoby Brissett. And as much as I like Jacoby Brissett, there's no way I'm benching Patrick Mahomes or Jacoby Brissett. Yeah. And Mahomes is still like, is it an upgrade to go from Drake May to Patrick Mahomes? Yes. But I'm not giving. I would love to get RJ Harvey with Drake May and give up Patrick Mahomes.
I don't think it's so specific. I just want to know in general what you.
But like that's the type of deal. Like you're gonna have to throw in something to get Mahomes. But why even bother doing it if you've already got Drake May?
All right. Well, listen. If you have 2 quarterbacks and Mahomes is one of them, and just something to think about. Just be aware.
Sure.
Denver, Houston, the Chargers,
and expecting him to fall into 2024, Patrick Mahomes. There's no way you could expect that given the receiving core like Jamie laid out. Having Rashee Rice back is just huge for him.
Okay. All right. We're going to take a break. Oh, man. The moment you've all been waiting for.
I will say this, though. There is one quarterback that you might be able to get that's better than Mahomes.
Jameis Winston? Oh, Joe Burrow. Okay. Yeah, Joe Burrow. Let's see. He was 50% rostered yesterday, and he is currently 70% rostered and waivers tonight, so he'll be close to 100.
So that's one, like if you picked up Burrow and you want to trade Mahomes, I'd co-sign that.
If you, I just don't know for sure that he's coming back because he.
Well, you obviously have to have another. If you're
of course,
Flacco, Burrow, and Mahomes, those are your quarterbacks. One's on IR, and somebody offers you something from Mahomes that you like. I'm doing it.
There you go. We're gonna take a break. Jets and Patriots when we come back.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
No. That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But thanks to CBS Sports, you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Jamie just
Tonight football. Jets are at the Patriots. Wait. What?
Jamie just gave me an idea.
Oh.
What's the idea?
In our YOLO Dynasty League, Jamie and I are tied for first place with Nick Costas. Dave Richard has, I believe, Joe Burrow on IR. Is that correct, Dave?
It's correct, sir.
And Dave is rebuilding. And I wonder if there's a deal where I could trade him Patrick Mahomes and maybe a Garrett Wilson for Joe Burrow and a wide receiver that he has on his team who's very young and I seem to like more than he does.
Is there a game to preview? Adam, you should get on with the show.
Okay.
I like public trade negotiations.
I love it. Jets are at the Patriots.
Na.
All right. I forgot what my role was there. Oh, look at you. Look at you. Look at this. He's got the I Heart Drake May shirt.
Yes.
That is great. Paying up
shirt.
to bed.
And Mike emailed me today and said that he is delighted because I have Drake May at QB1 this week.
Oh, you do have Drake May at QB1 this week. How about that? Stat of the game, only 2 running backs have scored more than 13.1 PPR fantasy points against the Patriots. They are Bijan Robinson and Devon Achane. They both had 8 catches for 50 or more yards. So starter sit Breece Hall. Starter sit any Jets.
Hall's an RB2.
It's very difficult to sit Breece Hall with the state of the running back position and no Jonathan Taylor, and for what it's worth, no Alvin Kamara, and just the injuries that we're dealing with there. So I would love to say sit him if you can, but that's just incredibly difficult.
Yeah,
I've got him ranked outside my top 20.
right.
Fully buy into this Patriots run defense. Fully expect the Patriots to not do what the Browns did last week and struggle to slow down Breece Hall. This is not a good matchup for him. I don't see him getting a ton of targets and catches in the game like those other running backs did. He's going to need he's a talented running back, but it was kind of fluky to catch a screen pass and take it 40 yards to the house. He's going to need that again in order to come through for fantasy managers.
I hope that the Jets were like, oh, that guy's good in space. We should maybe throw it to him more often and not Isaiah Davis. Because it's just criminal that he gets 1 target.
But you have him, what, 17th?
Yeah. I don't love him. I actually, because I'm higher than everybody else on Harvey. Like I'd start Travion over him.
Mm-hmm.
I'd start RJ Harvey over him. I'd start ETN over him. You're obviously starting Dowdle over him.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's certainly plenty of scenarios where we can sit Breece Hall. I just thinking, when we stay starter sit and where we have him ranked, it's just hard. They're not, as we see, 85% is probably one of the lowest start percentages for him in a while.
He started the year getting 4 targets in 4 of his first 5 games. So they know that he can catch the ball. They know that he can do that. 3 targets or fewer each of his last 4 games.
And he
Give
had
him credit for last week. He could have easily quit on the team if he wanted to. He wanted out.
Fair.
First game following the trade deadline. He played great.
Breece Hall had 3 targets and 2 catches in each of the first 2 games he played without Garrett Wilson. He had about a 10% target share. So if you're thinking, oh, well, they're going to throw it to him more with Garrett Wilson out, that hasn't been the case so far. It might happen, but it hasn't been the case so far. So yeah, he said Harvey over Hall. How about you, Dave and Jamie? Harvey or Hall?
I have Hall higher.
I have Hall higher, but I'm very close between Hall and Marks.
Oh, how about Monangai?
No, Hall.
No, Hall over Monangai. Okay. So any other?
Now that Jameis is starting, I might go Devin Singletary.
No. Any other Jets you might consider?
No.
What they said.
Okay. And then Drake May, 4th for Jamie, 6th for Dave, 1st for Heath.
Why are you guys always doubting Drake May? I think the third week in a row I'm the high guy on Drake May. He's been really mediocre the first 2, so it's great.
Any reason why he ended up as number 1 for you?
High implied point total, bad defense he's facing. He's very good.
Okay.
What is the high implied point total for the Patriots?
I don't know.
Is it like 28? Gotta be if you're ranking him number 1.
It is exactly 28.
Yeah.
I think.
It's pretty good.
Not quite. 27.5.
Oh, well, then he sucks, and you have him ranked too high. No, I'm just kidding around. Yeah, might have him a little too low. They should be able to do whatever they want against the Jets. I don't think their secondaries. I mean, listen, Jerry Jeudy caught a touchdown. Dylan Gabriel threw the ball a decent amount last week. The secondary isn't very good. If anything, their run defense came to play last week, but they also stacked the box against Quinshon Judkins, and I don't see the Jets doing that this week, which actually makes me like Travion a little bit more. But I do think Drake May has like a solid game, 250, 2 touchdowns, maybe 20 yards rushing.
So he's played
the thing
3
that you want to hope
games.
for as the Drake May manager is this is the showcase for MVP game.
He's played 3 games where they've blown out their opponent. 42-13, 31-13, 32-13. Did not throw more than 24 passes in any of those games. However, he scored 27 or more fantasy points in all 3.
Okay.
He ran very effectively in those 3 games. But it's always a little bit of a concern, the low pass volume. But Drake May is a start. I guess, would you all start him over Mahomes this week?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Would you start? I know, obviously, the answer for Heath, but for Dave and Jamie, Drake May or Justin Herbert?
Herbert's the start of the week. I have him 1 spot ahead.
I've got May ahead.
All right. Anyway, start him. Then we'll talk about the running back. Oh, you know what? We'll save the running backs to last. Real quick, Hunter Henry. Any interest in Hunter Henry?
I just think there's so many better options at tight end. He's been so disappointing lately. He's coming off tying his worst performance of the season, which was 1.9 PPR points, which he did, I believe, in week 1 or 2, early in the season. So just given the state of the position, he's not horrible. Matchup's not horrible, but I just think there are better options out there. I think it helps that Austin Hooper probably not going to play.
Here's some analytics for you. The last time he had 1.9 fantasy points, he followed that up with 29.
Oh man, that's a good note. So, all right, Patriots wide receivers. Dave, give me the scenario here for these guys. Again, 3 blowout wins, no more than 24 pass attempts in any game. You did have Mac Hollins, who had a season high 83.3% route participation rate last week without Booty, but Booty was limited. Anyway, what do you think about the Patriots wide receivers?
I like Stephon Diggs the best still. He leads the Patriots with a 30.6% target per route run rate this year, with 9.1 yards per target when Drake May isn't pressured. And I don't think Drake May is going to get pressured. I think that he'll be able to have time to pick apart that Jets secondary. And that makes me encouraged, even though Diggs doesn't play quite as much as some of the other receivers for New England. So he's my favorite of the 3. I would call Mac Hollins like a desperation receiver. You've got to be in like a 16-team league with a bunch of sharks and a bunch of flex spots on your squad and desperate at wide receiver to go with him. Kyle Williams has to be on fantasy benches too. I would rather have Burden than Williams, but I do think that he's a good stash play. You love the speed that you saw last week at Tampa, and he's somebody who could potentially earn maybe a little bit more playing time, but I don't see a pathway to him being a featured player for New England for the rest of the way.
Are we excited to start Diggs this week or sort of begrudgingly starting?
It's the same every week with him. Like he's living anywhere between like 22nd and 30th among wide receivers in PPR.
He's caught a touchdown in 3 straight games. He's had a target share of 21.7% or higher in 3 of his last 4 games, but he is really reminding me a lot of Keenan Allen because the yards stink. 46 or fewer yards in 4 of his last 5 games for Stephon Diggs.
He's playing right around 70-75% of the snaps, or that's his route rate, excuse me. So he's doing better there than Keenan Allen, but the comparison is fair.
He'll score.
Tez Johnson at Buffalo or Stephon Diggs?
I think I have Steph higher.
Oh, Tez for me.
Two Diggs and a Steph. How about Troy Franklin against the Chiefs? Okay. How about Stephon Diggs versus either Broncos receivers against the Chiefs?
Diggs.
I'll take Diggs over both.
I've got both ahead of Diggs.
How about Deebo Samuel at Miami or Stephon Diggs?
Diggs.
Deebo.
Travion Henderson or Stephon Diggs?
Henderson.
Trey.
Breece Hall or Diggs?
Diggs and PPR.
Yep.
All right. Travion Henderson, Heath, how do you rank him without Ramondre? How would you rank him if Ramondre plays?
Without Ramondre, he's the highest of the RB2s. I think I have him at 13. With Ramondre, he would move into the low RB2 range, probably closer to 22 or 23.
Do you guys feel similarly?
He's the number one guy for me. He's 11.
All right.
I'm the little guy. I've got him 16. That's without Ramondre.
If Ramondre plays, who's the highest rank? Who would be the higher ranked guy?
Henderson,
but it'll be very close.
and it'd be all over both if Ramondre plays.
That's fair.
All right.
I'll
So
still go Henderson over Hall.
we'll give you an update tomorrow when we see. I mean, I'm assuming that he's going to be limited again, Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah.
I
don't know if he was practicing with the team either.
Yeah, he was on the side.
Yeah. Usually when they're limited and practicing on the side, like we've come to learn that means that they're not going to play.
Yeah, and a short week too. It's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots DST, start them.
Yep.
Two terrible games in a row, but this one should be a lot better. All right, that will do it for Thursday Night Football. We got 10 minutes left and nothing. I'm going to answer some starter sit questions. I'm sorry for this game. Mayor Stafford.
I've got Stafford higher.
May.
Mayor Mahomes. We already said May on that one. Start 2. Henderson, Rico Dowdle, Quinshon Judkins, Javonte Williams.
I'll go Henderson and Dowdle.
I'll go Dowdle and Javonte.
That's how I have it too.
Oh, this one is such a bad comment. Well, it's not that bad of a comment. Pats are a paper tiger. They don't have a tough game all year. Going to get stomped in the playoffs. They have one at Buffalo and at Tampa Bay. So let's give them a little credit there. I do kind of feel like they're not quite. I feel like they're this year's version of the Broncos. They might get their butts kicked in.
I wonder where they're at in the Super Bowl odds.
They might get the 1 seed though, which.
Yep. I think that'd be my expectation as they do.
Well, then they won't get beat in the first round.
Right.
Henderson or Devontae Adams.
But it will be interesting to see what the lines will be if it's Chiefs, Bills, Ravens at New England or at Indianapolis, round 1 and then round 2.
Yeah. Half PPR, Henderson or Adams?
Devontae Adams.
Yeah, just make sure that Adams is participating by Thursday.
Yeah. Stafford or May. I think we just did that one. I'm sorry. And Rice or Henderson?
Rice.
Your favorite variety of rice? Brown, white,
fried
rice, yellow.
No sprouts.
Fried.
Yeah, fried.
I don't like brown rice. Brown rice is awful. I used to like it. Now it sucks.
It's okay if it's fried brown rice, but then it kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah. I like brown rice.
Yeah, you would. All right. We've got about 4 minutes left to have some fun here. So ask us some questions. And there.
You're supposed to tell the origin.
Yeah, I didn't get that clip ready. I'm very sorry.
You suck.
No, I didn't mean to on that one. Would you trade Breece Hall for Jalen Warren and Tedero McMillan?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. How about start 2? Chase Brown, David Montgomery. Let's get the matchups. Chase Brown against Pittsburgh. David Montgomery at Philadelphia. Rashad White is at Buffalo. And RJ Harvey as the Chiefs. Start 2.
Brown and Must.
Brown and Harvey.
I've got Harvey ranked the highest among the others.
Yeah, a note on Chase Brown. He played, I think, 97% of the snaps 2 weeks ago, and that was with Samaje Perine getting hurt on the opening kickoff or something like that. So major boost in his value with Perine out. Will that be the same this week? I don't know, but that was significant. Very significant. Charbonnet or Tajay Spears? Charbonnet is at the Rams, and Tajay Spears has the Texans.
Spears.
I'll take Charbonnet.
Yeah.
The Titans, by the way, have a brutal schedule to finish the year.
No.
Season's over.
I know. Sticky rice. Sticky rice is like Chinese food, right? Or no? I think it's like a Or is this something perverted that I shouldn't be saying? Garrett Wilson is
no touchdown there.
Should I take it for Jameson Williams?
I'd rather have JMO.
I'd rather have JMO too.
What if you're totally loaded at wide receiver and JMO's on your bench?
Then he's a healthy guy on your bench as opposed to Garrett Wilson who may not play again.
Yeah, they could easily shut him down, right?
Yeah,
they could.
Sticky rice is a Asian thing, Asian dish. Flacco or Hurts this week?
Hurts.
Oh, I forgot to mention this. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt or Jacoby Myers is the question in full PPR.
With
forgot to mention
Chris
this
Rodriguez news, I'd go Myers.
What is the Chris Rodriguez news?
He looks like he's going to play.
Dan Quinn said he's going to play.
Okay. Chris Rodriguez then should be a waiver wire consideration for you. He played 17 snaps in the first half. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt played 4. Mm-hmm. Jeremy McNichols played 6.
Mm-hmm.
They made him their starting running back. They made him their running back. He's 11% rostered, Chris Rodriguez. Did I get him in the podcast league?
I believe so.
Yeah, let's go. All right. I'll ask just a few more here. Brissett or Goff?
I have Brissett higher.
Brissett.
And is it time to move on from Monangai for Sean Tucker or Woody Marks in PPR?
Marks, yes. Tucker, no.
Great.
All right. Content calling this a show. Monangai, by the way, mentioned this on Beyond the Box Score. Basically split series for the first 3 quarters. And then he barely played in the fourth quarter because they were trailing.
Right.
But you could still expect them to split series. This is why we said DeAndre Swift sell high. And it doesn't mean that Monangai has no value here. And I'm not saying start him over Woody Marks or anything, but just throwing that out there. All right.
Just if you're looking for somebody that might be available, Terry McLaurin is starting to do on-field workouts. So he made the trip with them. They have their bye next week. So
there you go.
Hopefully back week 13.
And I have to say a big apology for completely whiffing on Veterans Day yesterday, not wishing all of our veterans a happy Veterans Day and thanking you all for your service. Much appreciated, obviously. You guys are heroes and girls are heroes. So I hope you had a great Veterans Day. And thank you so much. And our guy, Robert Thomas, who moderates our Facebook page and is usually in the chat, but I don't see him today. He is a veteran, and he says he's going to the Steelers-Bengals game this week. I remember he said this yesterday in the chat. Going to the Steelers-Bengals game. He wants to bring a sign that is Dan Schneier inspired.
No, let's go.
It's got to be WH blank RE. I mean, I think you got to figure out.
A picture of Dan with like a nose strip.
Oh, yeah, nose strip. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow with the AFC home games. See ya.